Holy moly.
You're
retro-ropping.
retro-ropping. Oh, yes! Oh! Oh!
I mean, what a typo. What a nut.
Wow.
That sounds so
Wow.
bad.
Oh.
I know. How do I?
That's oh my god.
All right, cool.
This writes itself.
Don't be in a dark alley with Mike. Yeah, what's up, boys?
We're
I
live.
think we're live.
We're live.
Oh, we're on. We're running. We're doing it.
Joe, why don't you set the agenda, Joe? Come on, let's hear it.
Nope. I don't even know what the agenda is. Because
Okay, Mike,
if
go.
I set the agenda, do you want to know what I would do if I set the agenda?
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk
would
about
like to
cards.
right.
That's it. I just wouldn't
Joe,
talk about cards. But
do we have a mute button for him?
oh my god! But since this is primarily, I mean, it's in the name, Wicked Good Polls, so I can't not. So there we have it. So why don't somebody else do the,
I have so much to talk about, and unfortunately, Joe, I don't think any of it will be of interest to you.
Okay, I'm going to get my pillow.
Yeah, it's not. It's all like kind of specific selling strategy approaches, and I want to verbalize it. I want to get feedback. I want to hear about any sort of strategies that Matt is trying out that might be new. So the first thing I wanted to share is that I am intentionally selling or streaming less frequently. So I would say I was hitting a stride where I was streaming minimum once a week, usually on a Saturday, and then I might also stream on a Sunday. And now what I want to do is 2 to 3 Saturdays a month. That's it. And my logic is I want to give myself more time to acquire cards in between episodes and be more organized in the process. Because obviously if you're purchasing stuff from eBay, you can't necessarily control when you're going to get it. And so by giving myself more time in between streams, I just have more time to acquire cards and really map out my strategy for the upcoming stream, whenever that is. So we'll see how it goes. The concern I have with that, though, is it's going to make it harder for me to gain followers as quickly as I have been. So I'm a little worried about that. And so the way I'm trying to compensate for that is I am finally entering into the Givey territory, and I'm actually going to experiment with Giveys today for the first time.
You're selling out.
I've been against Giveys because I feel like I don't know if like the people that are hunting Giveys, like I don't know if I want them as people following me. I don't know if they're like good for business or if they're just, hunting for good deals and they don't want to spend any realistic amount for what a card may be worth. That being said, who am I to generalize, right? Like a giveaway of a decent card, like a lot of people appreciate that. So for me to just assume they're people hunting freebies is not fair.
All right, can we respond to that?
Yeah.
Can we respond to a couple of things? All right, so first off, the streaming less frequently, I think is good and bad. The good is that it's a hobby, and so take a little pressure off and do it when it's fun, and that part of it I think is kind of cool. I think
added bonus. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's how the algorithm works, but in general, I get it because there's some pressure to streaming and like having good cards to kind of move. So I understand that. However, I think from a business standpoint, I agree with your worries that like your growth, I think, will slow a little bit. I'm considering going the other way. I go twice a week.
Streaming every day.
No, well, I thought about doing that for like 1 week. And I was thinking about streaming more often, but shorten the length of the stream. So like right now I do Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays is a smaller show, lower cards. I'll even do dollar starts in an effort to build up kind of momentum for a bigger Saturday show. But I was thinking, well, if that worked Tuesdays, wouldn't it work if I did it a few days a week or try it out one week where I did it every night? I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm still Tuesday, Saturdays, but I think relative to your approach, I don't know how it affects the long-term algorithm. I've read that more frequent, shorter shows helps.
Can you please refer to it as the Algo from now on?
Sure, the Algo. The Algo.
I don't like going back and forth. We established Algo an episode or two ago, and I want to stick with it.
Okay, my bad.
Thank you.
But relative to the giveaways, I think giveaways are another way to then improve the Algo. So, yeah, I don't know what it's done to the quality of buyer. I don't know if they're just coming in and out, but it is crazy now how many people come through my show, and you get more sense of that. Not because of the total number, but because of the total followers you get in the show just doing giveaways. And so, like, yeah, my biggest show has been like 30 something people, but in a single show, I've had like 70 followers. So like, there's a lot of people coming and going.
Now? What's your total?
Don't
make a bragger face.
I'm
People
like,
can see this,
it's
but
like
you are like,
so popular.
Oh yeah.
No,
How many?
It's not even that big. It's over 1,000. I don't know if it's 1,500.
It's not even that big. Don't even worry about it, Mike. How many do you have? I don't want to. How many do you have?
I have 309. 309.
1,000
exactly.
309.
Just
total.
309.
Okay,
yeah. I've been selling for less time than Matt, and also I think Matt has done a good job getting into the giveys and leveraging those, opportunities to gain more followers. So that's part of the reason why I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can use that method and still sell less frequently and hopefully at least continue to get the same amount of followers per month that I did when I was, streaming every week versus every other week.
You'll pick up way more followers doing giveaways because they can't help themselves. They click on it and then they follow.
So, so there's one specific givey approach that I want to run by you, Matt, and see what your thoughts are. So I have 3 cards set aside. So typically my streams are like around 90 minutes, maybe up to 2 hours. I very rarely go beyond 2 hours because I pretty much lose steam after that. And so what I was thinking was a givey every 30 minutes. So run it for the first 30 and then, give away and then so on and so forth. But what I was thinking is throughout it, having a 4th higher value card, maybe even like a raw Jordan insert that I wouldn't say it's going to be super, it's not going to be the Jordan electrified, but it might be, I don't know, another insert that's probably in the $10 range. And I was thinking about trying to tell people like, here's the givey, right? So I have the base level Jordan that I'm going to give away on camera, but then tell people if you can help me get past 30, I will switch the givey to blah, 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 right? In other words, share this, tell your friends to come join. If we can get more than 30 people in, I'll swap out this base level Jordan for an insert Jordan and make that the givey. And then doing that for the second one as well, but saying, get me above 40, right? And if we don't get 40, no problem. I'll still do the giveaway. It's just, they're going to be these base level Jordans. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, I don't know. Like, it might be kind of cool. It might encourage more people to share the stream with other people. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's worth trying, but I don't think it's going to be that successful.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't think like if they really love that card, they're going to want you to run it so they can buy it because the giveaway odds are almost it's less in their control. So it might be more of an incentive to say like get 30 people and I'll run it at $2 versus just giving it away, or I'll run it at $1. Like here's something like that. The giveaway aspect, when you leave, I find, and this might speak to your concern about the type of people who hunt giveaways. If you look at any big stream, right, even the streams that have like 1,000 people in, when their giveaway timer runs out and they have that like 20 seconds without a giveaway up, their show numbers drop. Not to where they're worried about having anyone in there, but like the non-consecutive giveaways have people sometimes like leave. So I guess the question then is, what's the point of the giveaway? Is the point to just reward your buyers who are staying anyways, or to get more followers and more people in, and therefore more frequency and more numbers in your algorithm? You know what I mean? So like, and I know that doesn't necessarily up the value of the buyer if they're just giveaway hunters, but I still think the point is to get more numbers in your show, therefore affect the algo, Joe.
Thank you. Hey, can we dive into these giveaways, like at least the from the technical perspective? Like, how does it work from your end as a host?
Matt's better at this than me.
In your shop, you just add an item in your shop, and there's a like sub column called giveaways. So it's the same thing. You put the shipping weight, you do everything, and Mike, I would suggest single card 0 to 1, because then it will only charge you 78 cents. If you weight it more, it charges you more. So if you were to do a giveaway of a desk, you're going to have to pay a lot for shipping.
But how does it know? How does it know who to pick for the giveaway? Is it just everybody in your room, or is it
everyone who clicks in on it, which then automatically follows you? So if you click on the giveaway, and it depends on how you set it up. You could do a buyer's giveaway, or you could do a followers giveaway. I always do followers. So then it allows anyone in my stream to click on it, but it requires them to follow you. And then once they're in, it's like the software just does like a randomizer, and you see it spin on the screen, and then the name pops up. And so, like Retroripping won the giveaway, like, and then you just got to set it aside just like they bought it. You put it
like
in a
another
stack.
sale. Yeah.
Yep.
So now let me ask, let's fast forward. So I follow you, I do the giveaway. So I follow you. Can I do another giveaway if you do it on another show?
Yeah, you
because
just
you're a follower already.
So
you're a follower.
It goes to followers, and you have to be in your room or whatever you call it, your channel.
If you click on it and then leave the room, you're not in the.
You're out. Okay.
You're out of it.
All right.
You have to stay in the room. So a lot of people will ask, and that's why they always do, like, how much time left on the giveaway? Because they want to know, if they go, do they have time to come back?
Yeah, right. Like, that's the carrot. Got it.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of other people will mock those, like, don't ask about the giveaway time, things like that.
Right. So can I ask you a question, Matt? Is there a time limit in terms of when I can start soliciting givey entries, and then when I have to actually run the giveaway?
It's a 5-minute clock that just counts down, and you'll see the time the whole time. No one else will.
So if I want to do a giveaway every 30 minutes, that means at like minute 25, that's when I start it. Okay. Yep. So I can't decide when.
You also can just click to run it whenever you want. Like if you wanted to end your stream and you don't want to wait 5 minutes, but you get a giveaway up, you can just
do
click
it sooner, but I can't delay it.
Correct.
Okay. Good to know. All right, so a couple things I also want to add that as another way to try and optimize my show, since I'm focusing more on quality of streams versus quantity of streams, I am going to start dabbling with the paid promotions as well. And so my whole idea is that for the next, let's say 3 to 6 months, and by the way, the next podcast that we run, I might change all of this. So when I say 3 to 6 months, it might actually be like one day, and then I might completely change everything. However, at this point in my life, what I'm thinking is for the next 3 to 6 months, I really want to focus on gaining followers and trying to get myself to be able to stream shows that have on average 40 to 50 participants. And so the reason why I'm saying that is because ultimately I don't want to take a loss on shows, but I'm actually, for the next 3 to 6 months, I'm not going to worry too much about my profits. I'm okay with, if I can break even, if the amount it costs me to run a show, to purchase cards, all that stuff puts me at even, as long as I feel like I'm making good headway as far as gaining followers and getting more people in a room. And that's kind of why I want to go quality over quantity. If I can get like a good variety of cool Jordans and Kobe's and Allen Iversons, and if I can really plan in between shows. So for example, for the last 3-4 days, I've been going through all of my past sales, essentially messaging everybody directly one at a time, being like, I'm going to be doing 3 giveaways. I got tons of cool Jordans and you should, flag my show or bookmark my show. And so that's a shift I'm making, kind of a mindset shift. I'm not going to worry too much about the profits for a little bit. I don't want to take a loss, but I just want to grow it. So that's, I want to share that. And then I'm curious about.
Have you thought about taking a full page ad out in the Patriot Ledger?
I mean, it actually, you say that facetiously, but there's a part of me that's like, it might be kind of cool to try like standard local advertising, like just random.
Bring it back.
Let's get a billboard.
Yeah.
Let's put us on a billboard.
Ooh,
I do just want to share to both of you. I bought yesterday, I don't have it yet, but I bought a customized, like a giant mouse pad. It's basically like, I think 2 feet by 3 feet.
So you can sleep on it. Oh, it's so comfortable.
And it's going to have, on the left side of it, it has the Wicked Good Pulls logo. And on the right side of it, it has the Retroripping logo. I was thinking about underneath in much smaller font, be like, okay, and while you're at it, check out Coach Hoops.
But Coach Hoops.
But you didn't. But you didn't even include it.
No, I didn't because,
even make the cut.
I felt like I didn't want too many logos on there. So I figure if they go to Wicked Good Pulls, they'll learn about Coach Hoops. And obviously we talk about Coach Hoops. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. But can we talk about a buyer's giveaway real quick? Because I kind of want to also do that in lieu of, I want to do 3 follower or whatever it's called, like giveaways to gain followers. But then part of me wants to do a buyer's giveaway of a really nice Jordan, but make it like you have to have spent $50 to get it. I feel like if I can motivate people to want to spend good money, that's probably that's
so
good.
I don't believe you can set the amount they have to buy in order to be in the giveaway. I don't think. They just have to buy anything. And then they're eligible. And in fact, Whatnot has rules that anyone can enter the giveaway. So even if you call it a buyer's giveaway, now you have to jump through a bunch of hoops, but there's a way they can get in with spending no money based on Whatnot rules.
Ooh, jump through a bunch of Coach Hoops.
Coach Hoops.
I didn't get that. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I'll have to fact check that then, because I want to play with that.
One of my streaming buddies, D Lava, he'll do like whole 15, 20-minute shows of just giveaways. He'll just do a giveaway show. And he'll just sit there and like kind of banter with people and just run giveaways for like 5 minutes, do like 4 or 5, and he'll do some decent cards. And it's to build up bookmarks. He does it to like benefit some charities sometimes. He'll do it to build up a number to raid somebody else. I haven't really talked to him about his strategy as to totally why he's doing it that way, but it's kind of cool. I think I shared it with you at once, Mike, randomly. But
you spam me though.
Yeah, I do. I send you all sorts of eBay links and different.
Hey,
different
speaking
things.
eBay links, Mike, is yours Retroripping?
What?
Is your username Retroripping?
Don't do that.
No.
Can you look? Can you check it out, please?
Why would that be his name? That sounds terrifying.
I had clicked on something that he was selling, and I was like, why can't I find Retroripping? It's not coming up. And then I finally, through Coach Hoops, it was like sellers that are similar, and I find it was, I don't know what the image of was it a 14 card mystery pack?
Yeah.
And it says, and I clicked on it and I looked at it said Retroripping, and I was like, what?
That would be very funny if I just had the account
Retroripping.
And I'll just change my name to that. I'm Retroripping. I don't think so. I'm looking right now, but I don't know where here we go. Holy moly. I'm Retroripping.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what a typo. What a nut.
Wow.
That sounds so bad.
I know. How do I?
Oh my God.
All right, cool.
This writes itself.
Don't be in a dark alley with Mike.
Yeah, seriously. Were you closing your eyes when you typed it? What happened?
That's nuts.
I didn't realize
I
you
mean,
were a
I
ropper.
consider myself like decent at being detail oriented, but that's a biggie. Like that's a big miss. Wow.
If you look at the keyboard, the
I wish
I's
we
right
looked at
next to the
all
O.
your names and they were all spelled wrong. Like Mike was spelled with a Y. Like it doesn't make sense, but
Upon further investigation, you just find so many grammatical
we've
and
known
spelling
for your
errors
whole
on
life
everything.
you're just terrible at spelling.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to see if I can somehow change that. I probably can't, which stinks.
No, I think you can because I had a name as a buyer that was
Yeah.
just like my name.
Yeah.
And then when I started selling, I was able to change it to Coach Hoops, my official business name.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm actually gonna sign up for Retroripping right now, so you can't.
thanks. Appreciate
problem.
that.
Oh,
All right. Well, real quick.
Well, hold on,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of bored by some of your topics. Can we shift over to card acquisition and like just different ways to find stuff? Because when Joe brings up
that's
eBay,
even more exciting. Ooh,
we don't have
let's
to.
drop
But
Mike's
no,
strategy.
I think we
and listen to
should, but I
Matt's
don't think it's
awesome
fair to
strategy.
say I'm bored by your topics.
Well, I found myself in a daydream as you were talking.
Well, these are things. First off, thanks. I mean,
How do
these
you
are
think I feel?
important to
I
me.
zone out when both of you talk. I zone out. I don't even know half.
Mike, you know what? I apologize. You struggle with spelling, and that was new to us. And
Details are hard for me, apparently. So
Retroripping.
Go ahead. If you want to talk card acquisition, I mean, let's hear this super exciting topic that everybody's going to love.
I'm basically, this is my pitch to my brothers. This isn't for the show as much, but I want to start doing like some yard sale stuff. And I want to start doing like find people on Craigslist. Is that still appropriate in society? Like, is
you want to start finding people on Craigslist?
sellers, like people selling things. I don't know. I find that like I normally acquire cards through eBay or like card shows. And I think we need to find a new stream to get good deals. Like, so I've kind of branched out to buying off of Facebook Marketplace. I found a guy in a elderly community who sold me some of his stuff in his collection.
Oh man, Matt. Oh man.
Yeah. I love
you
these.
Found a guy in an elderly community
on Facebook.
You know how that sounds, right? Like,
no, I mean not like that. He posted.
You didn't bring him home, right? Like he's okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, there was an ad on Facebook Marketplace, and I've been hesitant to like do the person to person thing because, like, I don't know, you
doesn't sound like you are. Sounds like you're going. You know,
I guess that's my point.
First,
I'm ready to go all in. And I'm ready to meet people.
You want to start exploring Craigslist? Just okay.
Well,
so
I feel struggle with this though, Matt. I struggle with the time commitment to like go to different yard sales and meet up with people. So that's one reason why I haven't really taken full advantage of Facebook Marketplace is when the time comes to actually get my car and go meet somebody in a parking lot. Very rarely am I motivated to do it. As creepy as it sounds, it's not that it's too creepy for me to do. That's what's not motivating me. It's the act of like when am I going to, so what do I do it on my way home from work at 6 o'clock? That's just like, I'm tired at that point, you know? So that's the only problem for me.
I find the hunt fun. Yeah. Meeting a singular guy for a handoff of stuff isn't as fun. Of items. No, of items. Don't make that gesture. It's of items, of cards. Like I bought 100 Jordans. No, I lied. 57 Jordans for $100. That was amazing. It was an amazing deal. And it was definitely
a very good deal. And I think you're right.
This is the elderly fella.
Yeah.
I think from a purely financial standpoint, I think that's probably the way to go. You're probably going to find more deals and better. You're going to save money that way and obviously, you know, increase your margins. It's just there's an ease to just ordering on eBay and getting them delivered to your mailbox that is just always going to motivate me more than the value of driving to a random town and meeting an elderly man in an elderly community and I don't know.
I will say this though, you could probably trade him that calendar I gave you, remember, for Christmas?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Let's not
Yeah.
go there. But yeah, probably. In general, though, I guess, yeah, I'm not against eBay. I obviously still do it. I still sell there, and I think I buy the bulk of my items because I can really target singular cards that I want to add to my shows. But I see some cards that like are just too expensive, and I don't want to put in $50 purchase for a certain Kobe. I want to try to find it for 20 or 30, and so I can ensure myself like a margin. And so that's where these alternatives come in. But back to your point, Mike, of how frequently you're going to run shows, I think if you want to, if it's beyond the time commitment, if you change the type of show you run, if you branch out more, you can have more shows because you don't need to acquire the same cards and wait for those cards. Like right now, if you look at my shows planned, I have like 10 shows planned and they're all different types. And it helps me when I go looking for cards because I know what I'm looking for. I know I need WNBA cards. I know I need number cards. I know I need Duke cards. I know I need Ohio State, Michigan cards. So I'm not just hunting the same thing, building that up and waiting for that next show. I have a range of shows that I'm kind of hunting a bunch at once.
Well, it's very timely that you bring that up. And before I respond to that more thoroughly, how are we doing for time? Because I want to make sure, because this is a fun topic. Because, yeah. So, Joe, are we good for time?
Yeah, we're good for time. I think we got about maybe another 15, I think.
Do our sponsors need us to break? Is that it?
Yeah. All those sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Retroripping. Okay, so
Coach Hoops.
Really
but
quick.
It doesn't have anything to do with Retroripping.
I just didn't want to go down this rabbit hole if we were like on our way out. And I'll try and be quick too. So my son Grant had a case of Pokémon cards that he got for his birthday back in 2022. And it sat in a case for years and years and years. And it wasn't until I think 2 nights ago, well, for 4 years, right?
4 years.
So,
you said it like
years
it was like 20,
and year and year and year and year, 4 years. And so, but here's my point. He was like begging me, like, Dad, can we scan these? I want to sell these. I want to try and, make some money off these. So finally I was like, all right, grab them. We started scanning. We started looking on eBay. And all of a sudden, like a few of the cards that I just thought would be like nothing were worth $4, $5. And then we got a couple cards that were worth $30. And a couple cards, and then a couple cards that were in like the 60s range. So I would say he had about 200 cards, just to give you a sense of how many cards were kind of, going through. So he right now has a spreadsheet that has the total at the top. He's scanned, I want to say now at this point, 3/4 of the 200, right? So he's got about 150 or so scanned, and he's still got 50 more to go through, give or take. And he's got over $500 worth of cards based on eBay comps. Obviously, I don't know if he'll get that. I don't know what it will actually turn into, but he legitimately has a Pokemon stash that's worth more than $500 based on eBay prices.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Holy I feel like I got eBay's. I mean, Pokemans. I got Pokemans floating around here somewhere.
All right, don't get rid of them. They're worth something.
Don't get rid of them. So this is the reason why I bring that up is one, to highlight how proud of a moment it was.
Joe just turned into a Pokemon guy.
I know. Joe, maybe that's your lane, right? But the reason why I bring that up is one, because to see my son in front of a spreadsheet and like going back and forth between the spreadsheet and eBay, going through cards, and he's typing in the prices and he's watching the total go up. There are fewer prouder moments, right? Because like I literally said to him,
spreadsheets do it for you.
Welcome to the wonderful world of spreadsheets. Like it's amazing, and he was fully in it.
Google
and he loved it.
Said when you wipe the tear from your eye, you're like,
I was so proud. And not to mention, now I'm like, all right, we got to figure out how to sell these things, because I really am excited about the thought of him being able to, get something, sell it, make some money. I hope, and then we started talking about, you take a portion of your profits, you enjoy that, but then you take another portion and you reinvest that to try and, grow, blah, blah, blah. So that's one side note. But the real reason I bring that up, Matt, is to your point of running like different theme shows. Part of me is thinking, if I'm ever going to do yard sales or marketplace or anything like that, Craigslist, I think I'm going to go into the Pokemon world, because I just feel like there's so many opportunities. I think you're more likely to go to a yard sale and get like baby boomer parents whose kids have moved out and they just have like a stash of Pokemon cards and you don't have a clue what they're worth. They look like cartoons, so you would assume, well, they are cartoons, but you would assume they're not worth a lot, versus most people know if they see a card with Michael Jordan on it, most people know like who he is and that it might be of value. So I do think that there's this opportunity, and it speaks to your point, Matt, where I could maybe do 2 shows a month of my Jordans and then 2 shows a month of Pokemon. And that's like, that allows me, it's almost like alternating cycles. And therefore I can like kind of manage it in a more organized, less rushed way, but still do the same amount of streams. So
yeah,
there it is.
So when it comes to yard sales, that was part of my plan. Like, I don't know Pokemon. I don't really enjoy Pokemon, to be honest, but I understand it has value. A lot of people I've talked to, especially dealers, they do really well in the Pokemon space. Yeah. But so my plan, and my kids and I like reselling random things. So they like selling
like cologne.
They have random items on our eBay page.
I get a text from Matt the first time I'm going to the flea market. He can't go, and he goes, "Get me cologne." With no explanation. Cologne. Look for cologne. I'm like,
that was Rye. Rye wants to resell cologne, and I'm like, kind of. So I guess let me back up. Mike,
tell him to go to random flea market.
So the spreadsheet thing you did,
Stetson cologne.
That moment. Rye had a half day the other day, and so he was home, and so I just went to check in on him, and he's like, "Yeah, just gonna take a look at some of our cards and like organize some stuff." And he's a little older than Grant, as you know, but like, so I was like, "Sure, set up for the next show. That sounds great." And then like 2 hours later, I get a share of a Google Doc of a spreadsheet of like all this like stuff that like investments he's made, the purchase he's had, the purchase price, the comp price, what he wants to target, sell it like 70% value, 80% value, like all that stuff. And I literally wrote to him, "I've never been so proud." Like, it was awesome. It was so cool. And I've started to let him explore. I've been just kind of like almost investing in him. And like the other day I gave him $300 to buy bigger cards with. And he bought 5 cards. And in a couple days, just at card shows, really over the course of like, I think it was 4 days between buying them at a card shop and selling them at a card show, he turned around and made that $300, $350 plus another, I think it's 5 cards valued around $60. So he's up. He hasn't sold those yet, but he's up about $100 on that original investment, with no eBay fees, with no whatnot fees, with no shipping. And so there was something kind of cool in that. And it makes me think we might start doing tables at shows. That might be kind of the next thing we do.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that would.
I do think we are running late. I think I may have misjudged the time when I said 10 or 15 minutes. I
knew you. Yeah, we can go forever.
I did bad math.
Forever. Retroripping.
Imagine taking an ad out in the Patriot Ledger and writing retroripping.
You might as well just give our home addresses, Joe. It was just getting closer and closer and narrowing in.
Yeah, let's do that. Have people over your house.
Facebook Marketplace, we'll do it.
Yeah.
You need a massage?
Just stop by my house. Just leave. The garage is open. Just walk right in. No problem. Love it. All right.
I think we wrap it up. Though. Just kind of ended with no.
We were on a tear.
Just ran out of time.
Dropped right off. Yeah.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Love you. All right. Bye.
Good day, sir.
No. See ya.